All right, let's get ourselves started. So let's come over to our mats if you're practicing on a mat, and make sure you have any of the props that you would like to use around you. And we'll begin on our backs. So get yourself all set up. Feel free to set the scene for yourself. You can always dim your lights, or if your microphone's off, you can put on some calming music. And we'll begin on our backs for a few moments to settle into our bodies. So come on down in the easiest way possible, bringing yourself down and letting the spine settle. And you can take any movement there you'd like to take once you find yourself on the floor. More often, we bring ourselves down to the floor. We realize the movement sometimes that the body is desiring. So once you're down on the floor, sometimes the body will just move naturally. Just allow any movement there that feels good so that you can eventually settle. Just recognize there for a moment that simple act of simply bringing yourself down to the floor, what that can offer you. Just even for 2 minutes, set a timer for 2 minutes in the day and just bring yourself down to the floor. And your body will intuitively know what to do. So just finding yourself resting here on your back, you can have yourself in constructive rest, feet about as wide as your yoga mat, knees knocking in towards center. You can always extend the legs long, or just rest the legs however you'd like. Supta Baddha Konasana is often nice. Soles of the feet together, knees open to the side. Just allowing your spine to settle and to rest. And as the body slowly settles, perhaps you notice the shoulders falling a little heavier. We can tune into the breath and allow the breath to settle as well. Just letting this blanket of heaviness wash over the body. Practicing release, practicing surrendering. So noticing here if we're holding any parts of our body. Moving through the body, allowing yourself this feeling of heaviness. As you invite just the thought into the body, perhaps you notice we can release a little more. If we're holding or gripping somewhere, perhaps we notice it starts to settle a little bit more. And just notice how that feels. It's simple, but it's not easy. Take another moment here, scan through the whole body. And just noticing if we can surrender a little bit more. letting that be a thought, letting it be simple. And then start to tune your attention in towards the center of your body. So the belly, and perhaps the spine. Center your focus and your attention towards the center of the body. And you may notice there's a greater experience of warmth in the center of the body as opposed to the limbs. And see with the support of your breath if you can expand that feeling of warmth. It's almost as if it starts to expand and breathe through the body. You can visualize a circle, and perhaps on your exhales it just grows a little bit more, moving through the whole body. This feeling of warmth. Letting it be nice and simple, just exploring growing from the center, warming the whole body. It's often helpful just to focus the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Seeing if you can just hold on to that warmth. Allow your eyes to softly open, a nice soft focus for the eyes. We'll bring our feet in. And from here, continue to allow your spine to rest heavy on the mat. Lift your feet up off of the mat. So our feet are lifted, our knees are bent. Root your spine down and lift your arms up. Settle the shoulders. And invite a little bit of looseness into the body. Keep the center of the body so that warmth really engaged, and press your low back down into the mat, but allow there to be a sense of looseness through the limbs. And then from here, we'll just start to extend the right leg and the left arm. Now you may just extend a little, or you may extend the leg and arm long, depending on if you can keep your spine really firmly rooted down. So only go to that degree where you can keep that support, and then come back. So a little dead bug here. Extending the left leg and the right arm only to that degree where you can keep the spine firmly rooted down. And then coming back through the center. Take your time alternating from one side to the other. And our goal here is not speed. Our goal here is really nice, slow, conscious movement. Keeping your low back firmly rooted down and bringing your awareness to supporting the whole body. Feeling that warmth through your core. And we'll just take one more on each side. Take your time. Keep that spine pressing down. Come back to center. Tuck your knees into the chest there just for a moment, maybe a few little rocks from side to side. From here, extend your right leg, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Take your right hand to your left leg. Cross the left leg across the body towards the right side for a spinal twist. Allow your left arm to fall nice and heavy towards the left side. Breathe deeply into your body, soften your jaw, settling. Coming back through the center. Switch sides, so hug your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg. Take that left leg, or right leg, across the body towards the left side. Keep your right arm heavy. Turn your head towards the right side. Nice full deep breath. You can even encourage yourself to make sound with the breath. So we're really working towards that release with our exhale. Coming back through the center, hug your knees into your chest, give the knees a good little squeeze. And then from here, find that dead bug position again. So on your spine, knees bent, arms up towards the ceiling. See if we can move our body in one piece. So try not to topple over to the right side. Just start to turn your body towards the right side, gently lifting your left shoulder up. Try to keep the shoulders, hips, and knees in line. So we're not just moving the knees, and we're not just moving the torso. They come in one piece. It's going to be a tiny movement, lots of engagement there in your core. And then come back to center, take the other side. So slowly just start to tilt towards the left side. The torso stays in one piece. We're trying not to fall over towards the left side and trying to keep our knees, hips, and shoulders in line. So we move in one piece. Come back through center. One more time on each side. It is not easy. It's very deceiving. Simple, but not easy. Good. Come back through to the other side, over to the left side. Try to keep everything in line. There might be some wobbling. I know I'm wobbling here. Breathe. And then slowly come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a good squeeze. And we're going to come up to our hands and our knees. So either roll to the side to come up, or if you like, roll forward and back on your spine a few times. Give yourself a little spinal massage. Come through and find yourself on your hands and knees, tabletop position. Finding your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Take a nice inhale, begin to lift your heart and arch your back. As you exhale, round your back, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, begin to lift the heart and arch the back. And exhale, round the back, tuck the chin to the chest. Gently move back and forth here through these cats and cows, warming up through your spine as you connect to your breath. Breath-body connection. Good. And then we'll find ourselves back to a nice neutral spine. We'll lift our right arm up and look up to that lifted arm if it feels okay on your neck. Sweep your right arm under your left arm, so either release to your forearm, or if you like, to your shoulder. And you can keep that left hand down or lift that left arm and release it behind you. Breathing into the shoulders, soften your jaw. Coming back to center, take your left palm, press your left palm down, ease your way back to tabletop, other side, left arm lifts up. Weave your left arm under the right arm, either release to your forearm or to your shoulder, pressing that right palm down, stay with that hand down, or lift that right arm up and release it behind you. See if you can open up through the chest a little bit more. Coming back to center, root your right palm down, bring yourself back up to tabletop. Reach your arms forward, drop your chest between your shoulders in a puppy pose, allowing your spine to lengthen, hips are lifting up. Softening through your jaw, breathe deeply. Stay with this, or bend your elbows, take your palms together and take your hands towards the back of your head or the back of your neck. Taking a nice moment here, some deep breath. And then we'll slowly let that go. We'll bring ourselves up, root your palms down for downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back into your down dog. Extending the length of your spine. Feel free to take a nice generous bend into your knees to really explore finding the length in your spine there. Knees can be down, heels can be lifted. Don't worry about it, just finding that length. And feel free to invite some movement as you settle into the pose and breathe into your body. Feel free to modify by lowering your knees down, taking your puppy pose again, giving yourself permission right off the bat to modify, to adjust, to accommodate the body, not the poses, not the shapes. Another nice long deep breath here. Pull yourself forward into plank pose. Adjust yourself into your plank. Feel free to lower your knees down or your forearms and your knees. And we'll just take some nice deep breaths here in our plank. Breathing into the body, lengthening the spine. Stay with this, or if you'd like, lift and hover your right toes off the mat just an inch. And lower back down, left toes lift up just an inch. Let that lifting happen from the low belly. And lower back down one more time each side. Right toes lift just an inch. Lower down, left toes lift just an inch. Try to keep those hips stable. Good, and lower down to the belly. So lower the knees down. Release yourself down to your belly. Take a moment here. Pressing your palms beside your ribs, gently lift your heart. Reach your heart forward, lifting the palms up off of the mat, pulling the elbows back and down. Back and up, I should say, sorry. And lengthen the back of your neck. So just a tiny lift as we press the tops of the feet down into the mat. And then as we lower down, press your palms down, push back up through to your hands and your knees. Take a moment. Stay with your knees down or tuck your toes and find your plank. Again, your variation. And then lower down to the belly again, either from your hands and your knees or your hands and your feet, releasing the body down. Now again, press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Lift the heart forward, shoulders roll back on the back body, palms lift up off of the mat. Finding the strength in your body, lengthen your tailbone, elbows are hugging in towards the body, gently lifting up. Now from here, either push back up through to your hands and your knees or your hands and your feet. So either tucking your toes or come back to your hands and your knees as we did previously. Press the palms down. See if you can push up in one piece. Hold your plank. Good, and then lower down again, either from your hands and your knees or your hands and your feet. We'll take that one more time. So press the tops of the feet down, lift your heart forward, shoulders on the back body, palms gently lift. So hovering in a really low cobra here. And then push your way back up into your plank. So either push up through to the hands and the knees. Beautiful. Or if you'd like, tuck the toes, push up in one nice slow piece into your plank. Good. Now from this plank, lower your knees down. Breathe your hips back towards a child's pose. Knees as wide or as narrow as you like. Finding a place for your forehead to rest. Use props as you see fit. You can always pad up your knees or the backs of your legs. You can roll up a pillow or towel. Supporting yourself in a resting pose here. So feel free to sit up in a seated position if child's pose is not a resting pose for you. Giving yourself that permission to change the shape, allowing yourself to reflect. Reminding yourself that this is always available. Breathe deeply into your body. And when you're ready, Reach your arms as far forward as you can. Pull through to your plank. So either hands and feet or hands and knees. Lengthen your spine. Breathe here. Lower down to the belly, either from your hands and your knees or your hands and your feet. Take your forearms down here, elbows underneath your shoulders. Lift your heart forward and then up. So forward first, thinking of length first. Breathing in your Sphinx pose. Feel free to stay in your Sphinx pose or lift into a Cobra. So taking the palms beside the ribs, gently lifting your heart. You can stay low as we were before or lift a little higher depending on your spine. Feel free to stay there or lift into an upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat, knees lifted. Whichever variation you're in, just make sure that the spine is supported and find a little bit of movement. So maybe you'd like to rock the head from side to side or roll the head around, or maybe a gentle turn towards the back. Feeling, allowing yourself, not necessarily that feeling of being comfortable in the pose, but stable in the pose so that you could be here a while. Knowing that it's supportive in some way for your body. Good. And then we'll lower ourselves back down, push back up through to the hands and the knees. Knees as wide or as narrow as you like. A brief child's pose just there for a moment. Let the spine settle. And then we'll pull back up through the hands and knees, tuck the toes, and lift up and back, downward facing dog. Nice long spine. Slowly start to tiptoe or walk your feet forward to your hands. Bend your knees there as much as you like and hang forward over your legs, letting your head hang heavy. Good. Take a deeper bend to your knees. Slowly roll yourself up. Allow your head to come up last. Finding Tadasana, mountain pose here at the front of your mat. So either big toes touching, heels a sliver apart. Feel free to take the feet there as wide as you'd like. Grounding down through your feet. We'll take a nice inhale. Guide the arms up. Lengthen your spine. Connecting at the palms, we'll bow forward over the legs. Take as much of a bend into your knees there as you'd like. Let your head go. Breathe. Find your halfway lift. Palms come to the shins, the thighs, or a prop. Reaching the heart forward, lengthening your spine. Just a moment to find lots of space in the front of the body for breath. And then as you exhale, reach your palms down, step your feet back, hold your plank. Breathe here. Lower down, either from your hands and your knees or your hands and your feet, or if you like, you can take Chaturanga. Inhale, begin to lift your heart, open up. As you exhale, lower back down to the belly. Palms lift, chest is lifted in that nice low cobra. And we'll push up either to hands and knees plank or hands and feet plank. You choose, press the palms down, push up in one piece. And then lift up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Nice, easy breath. From there, take an inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, and either tiptoe, walk, or step your feet forward to your hands, hanging heavy over your legs. Halfway lift, palms come to the shins, the thighs, or a prop. Reach your heart forward. As you exhale, fold. Take an inhale, squeeze the arms up, stand. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, guide the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Palms come to the shins, thighs, or a prop. Halfway lift. Root your palms down, step back, plank. Hold your plank. Lower down, hands and knees, hands and feet, or Chaturanga. Inhale, begin to lift your heart. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Palms lift, elbows back. Breathing in that nice low cobra. Push up through to your plank, hands and feet or hands and knees. Hold. And lift up and back, downward facing dog. Feeling some warmth moving into your body. Feel free to rest if you need to. Rooting your palms down, soften your jaw. Inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees and either tiptoe walk or give yourself a little hop forward to your hands. Hanging heavy over your leg. Halfway lift, palms come to the shins, the thighs are a prop. As you exhale, fold. Take an inhale, squeeze the arms up, come to stand. And exhale back to Tadasana. Inhale, guide the arms up. Connect at the palms, bow forward over your legs. Palms will come to the shins, lengthen your spine as you exhale, fold and step your right leg back behind you, lowering your right knee down to the mat. Feel free to double up your right knee by doubling up your mat or placing a pillow or towel underneath the knee. If the floor feels far away from you, place your hands up on a prop, so a block or a couple stacks of books, whatever you have handy. Reaching your heart forward as you lengthen your spine. And then slowly start to send the hips back. Stop where you'd like to stop as you lengthen that front leg. Again, hands can be up on a prop. The leg doesn't need to straighten, just working towards that feeling of length, trying to square off the hip. Breathe here for a moment. And then slowly come back into your low lunge. Reach your heart forward. Feel the length in your right hip flexor. And we'll come back again. Again, you can have your hands up on a prop if you'd like to. If you've got those fingertips down and you feel lots of strength in your core, play with the idea of lifting your right foot up off of, or right leg up off of the mat. So the leg is just hovering here. Lots of strength. And then slowly lower it back down. Come back into your low lunge. Reach your heart forward. Stay with your hands down, or if you feel ready, come on up to the thigh. And then from there, if you feel ready, lift your arms up overhead. Straddle the shoulders as you lift out of your waist. Try here to see if you can find lots of strength and stability through the lower half of your body. Open up your arms. Take your arms forward with your left arm under your right arm and either hold onto your elbows, your shoulders, or if you'd like, take eagle arms. So take the backs of the hands together or wrap to connect the palms. And then see here if we can find this feeling of lift, maybe even a gentle back bend. So feeling the fingertips reaching up. And again, we may be holding onto our shoulders or our elbows. That's enough. Breathing up. Stable through the legs. As you exhale, slowly tilt forward. The arms come to the inside of that left leg. And then once you tap the hands down towards the floor, unravel the arms, root your palms down, reach your heart forward. And then we'll tuck our back toes, we'll lift our back knee. Take a moment here. Hands can be up on your prop if you'd like. And then step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Hands are framing the feet. And you can keep your feet here, hip width apart, or if you like, take your right leg, cross it over your left leg. Your right knee is deeply, deeply bent here, and there's working towards the feeling of length in that left leg. Just take a moment. Good, and then as we unravel that leg again, we'll step our right leg back behind us, lowering that right knee down towards the mat. Start to send your hips back. Breathe. Maybe you lift that left leg up, just hovering for a moment, and then lowering it back down. Come back into that low lunge. Hands can stay down, come up to the thigh, or lift and rise. We're on the same side we were on. Open up the arms. Left arm is under the right arm. Hold on to elbows, shoulders, backs of hands are wrapped to connect the palms. Find those eagle arms as you lift up and out of the waist, maybe a gentle back bend. And then engage your belly, stable through the legs as you tilt forward, releasing the hands to the inside of that left leg. And once you tap, release the palms down to the inside of that left leg. From there, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, pivot your back foot left. Hands can be up on a prop if you want to elevate that floor for yourself. So legs are in a warrior two stance. Front heel lines up with back arch as we reach our heart forward. Again, hands can be up on something to elevate the floor for yourself. Stay here or reach the arms behind you. Interlace your fingers or hook your thumb. Humble warrior, reaching your arms away from your back as long as that feels okay on your shoulders. You can also take your hands to your low back if it feels too much. From here, we're going to lift our torso up. So feel free to take your hands to your thigh to support you or use a prop or engage your belly. Come back up through to center and open up your arms into warrior two. Opening up towards the side, left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. From here, I'm going to take my arms forward, left arm under the right arm, eagle arms. Either hold on to elbows, shoulders, backs of hands are wrapped to connect the palms. Lifting the elbows away from the chest, hands away from face. Straightening your front leg, turn towards the long side of your mat, heels in, toes out. Lift out of your waist, breathing, and then we'll bend into the knees, goddess pose with eagle arms. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. So look down, adjust as you see fit to make sure those knees are tracking over your toes. Lifting out of your waist, breathe. And then we'll straighten the legs. We'll turn our toes in, heels out slightly. Pigeon toe those big toes in just a wee bit. Lift up and out of your waist. And you can stay upright, or if you'd like, tilt forward into a forward fold. Release the arms if it feels like it's too much to come forward. Breathing here for a moment. Good, and then either release your arms and roll through your spine or engage your belly and come up with a nice long spine and find your goddess pose again. Heels in, toes out. Keep those eagle arms if you have them. Again, you can always feel free to release them if it feels too much. You can always take your hands to your waist. Breathe here in your goddess pose. Hips are lowering. And a few little pulses here. So slowly lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift. Just a few more. Feeling that warmth moving through your legs. Good, and then we'll lift everything up, lengthen, unravel the arms, open back into your warrior two, heel to arch alignment. Cartwheel your hands down to meet your front foot, pivot onto the ball of your back foot. Step your back foot forward to meet your front foot and hang heavy over your leg. Feel free to rest here if you'd like, or move through a vinyasa. So root your palms down, step your feet back into a plank. Lower down, hands and knees, hands and feet, or Chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart. And this time right away, breathe back into your down dog. Either lower through your hands and your knees, or lift the hips up right away into down dog, however you'd like to. A steady stream of breath. Remind yourself to rest whenever you'd like to rest. That may look like a child's pose. It may look like lying on your belly or your back. Doesn't matter what it looks like. From here, take a nice inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees and either tiptoe walk or give yourself that hop forward to your hands. Hang heavy over your legs. Find your palms to your shins, reach your heart forward, long spine. Do exhale, fold. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up to stand. And exhale, back to your Tadasana. Now ground down through your feet. Inhale, guide the arms up. Connecting at the palms, we'll bow forward over the legs. Finding your palms to your shins, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold, step your left leg back behind you. Lowering that left knee down to the mat. Again, feel free to double up your mat for extra padding. Feel free to place your hands up on props to elevate the floor for yourself. Reaching your heart forward. Soften your jaw, steady your gaze. Slowly starting to send your hips back, lengthening that front leg. It doesn't need to straighten. Maybe the toes turn up towards the ceiling. Again, it can be really handy to elevate the floor for yourself here. Breathe. And then we'll slowly come back into that nice low lunge. Feel that length in your left hip flexor. And again, we'll come back. Feel free to place your hands up on a prop. Reach your heart forward. And if you feel that strength today, maybe you lift your right leg up off of the floor so the heel is gently lifted from the mat. Breathe, find lots of strength and energy through your core, press through your fingertips. And then lower that heel back down. Come back into your low lunge, reaching your heart forward. Good, and you can stay here, or if you feel ready, come up to the side. From there, if you're ready, lift the arms up, settle the shoulders. And we'll open our arms up nice and wide for our eagle arms. So taking your arms forward, right arm under the left arm, you can hold onto elbows, shoulders, backs of hands, or wrap to connect the palms, whichever variation. And then think of lifting up and perhaps adding that slight back bend. So lifting the elbows away from the chest, hands away from face. So there's this really lovely lifted energy here. Breathe. And then from here, try to find that stability through your legs. Tilt your torso forward with the arms coming to the inside of that right leg. And perhaps the hands touch down. And once they do, unravel the arms and root your palms down, reach your heart forward. Let those hips lower. From here, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, take the hands to frame your front foot and step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Now again, you can stay with your feet hip width apart here, or if you like, take the left leg and cross it in front of your right leg. Left knee is deeply bent, so the front knee is deeply bent and the back leg is working towards the direction of length, but it does not need to be straight. Let your head hang. Good, now as you unravel, again, we'll step our left leg back behind us, lowering that left knee down. We're on the same side. Right knee is tracking over your toes. Starting to send your hips back. Feel free to have those hands on a prop. And this time, if you'd like right away, maybe lift that right leg up. Heel is lifted away from the mat. And then lowering that heel back down, come back into your low lunge. Lifting your torso up when and if you feel ready. Settle the shoulders, arms come forward. Right arm under the left arm. Hold on to elbows, shoulders. Backs of hands are wrapped to connect the palms. Lifting elbows away from chest, hands away from face. Breathe. And then we'll slowly bow our torso forward. Hands come to the inside of that right leg. Once the hands touch down, unravel the arms so the palms root down to the inside of that right leg, or hands up on the prop. And then we'll tuck our back toes, we'll lift our back knee, we'll pivot our back foot flat, finding your legs in warrior two. So your front heel lines up with your back arches. Really actively press through the outer edge of that left leg. Hands can be lifted up on a prop if that floor feels far away. You can stay here or take the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs or hold on to a strap or towel behind you between your hands. Humble warrior. Pressing through that front leg. Breathe. Now we're going to bring our torso up. Again, you can release your hands and take the support of climbing up your legs or using a prop, or engage your belly. Come on up in one piece. Release those arms and open into warrior two. Ribs line up with hips. Gaze is past the front fingertips. Taking your arms forward, right arm under the left arm for your eagle arms. Hold on to elbows, shoulders, backs of hands are wrapped to connect the palms. Elbows away from chest, hands away from face. Stable through the legs. And then straighten your front leg. Turn to the long edge of your mat for goddess pose. Heels in, toes out. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes as you bend into the knees. Lengthen your tailbone. So as we take that bend into our goddess pose, we're not
shifting the body either way. I'm just going to turn to the side. So we're not shifting the body either way. We're coming down in one piece. So just a lowering. It doesn't have to be a big degree either. Good, and then from there, we'll straighten the legs. We'll turn our toes in, heels out a wee bit for our wide-legged forward fold. Lifting up, feel free to stay up if you don't want to fold today, or tilt forward. And if it feels too much to have those eagle arms, you can release the arms here. Lengthening your spine, feel free to take a generous bend to your knees. Let your head go, opening up the upper back. And we're going to bring ourselves up. So if you'd like, you can bend your knees and roll through your spine, or engage your belly and come up with in one piece, like long spine. Goddess pose again. Heels in, toes out, bend into the knees tracking over your toes. If it feels too much to have those arms in eagle, release it. And we'll pulse. Gently up and down, making sure those knees are safe, tracking over your toes. Tailbone is long, belly is engaged. Gentle pulsing, feeling that warmth moving through your leg. Good. And we'll lift everything up, lengthen. Open back up into your warrior two, right knees tracking over toes. Cartwheel your hands down to meet your front foot. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot and step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Hang heavy over your legs, let your head go. Again, if you want to rest here, or if you'd like to move through a vinyasa, go ahead. Rooting the palms down, stepping the feet back into a plank. Lower down, hands and knees, hands and feet, or Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. And as you exhale, breathe your way back into your down dog, lengthening your spine. And we'll take a nice inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, and either tiptoe walk or give yourself a little hop forward to your hands. Let your head go. Nice full deep round breath. And then begin at the base of your spine, slowly roll yourself up. Allowing your head to come up left, come to stand at the front of your mat. Bending your knees, sending your weight back into Katasana. Lengthen, engage your belly, lengthen your tailbone. Hands can be at prayer or hands at waist, or if you like, you can reach your arms forward. Settle the shoulders. Take a moment, feel that strength. And then we'll release our arms. Either open up your arms towards the side or take your hands to your waist. And then we'll send our weight into our left foot, and we'll play with the idea of lightening up on our right foot and cross your right leg over your left leg. Finding the steady point of focus, your gaze on the floor. So I'm just going to turn to face you. Either here, or if you'd like, hover that right foot. If it feels too much to stay in your Utkatasana, just lengthen up. If you want to cross your right leg over, or just hook that right foot over the left shin, go ahead. And add your eagle arms if you'd like. So taking the arms forward, right arm underneath your left arm, hold on to elbows, shoulders, backs of hands are wrapped to connect the palms. Elbows away from chest, hands away from face. Lots of nice deep breaths here. Good, now as we unravel, we'll allow our eagle to fly, perhaps lifting that right knee up. Anchor yourself back down, both feet down. Maybe give your legs a little shake out, arms a little shake out. Good, and we'll begin again in our chair pose with Katasana. So bend into the knees, lengthen your tailbone, engage your belly. Hands can stay at prayer, hands at waist, or if you like, reach your arms up. Shoulders on the back body. And you can keep your hands at your waist or open up your arms nice and wide to the side. Start to send your weight into your right foot. Play with the idea of lightening up on your left foot and cross your left over your right. You can stay here, gaze is steady down on the floor. Or if you'd like, you can lift and hover that right foot or wrap the right foot. Whatever's available. We don't want to feel tension in that front knee. And then we'll take the arms forward, left arm under the right arm, hold onto elbows, shoulders, backs of hands are wrapped to connect the palms, finding those eagle arms. Steady breath, steady body. Good. Now as we unravel, we'll allow ourselves to fly, lifting that left foot up. And then landing, left foot lands down, release the arm. Take a moment, maybe find one hand to heart, one hand to belly, and anchor yourself into your breath. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. Let the breath flow and settle. And when you're ready, drop your hands, drop your head, drop your shoulders, roll through your spine, and hang nice and heavy over your legs. Let your head go. You can keep your feet hip width apart here, or if you like, take your left leg and cross it over your right leg. Again, a nice deep bend into your left knee. The right leg is working towards length. Hands can be elevated on something if you want to elevate the floor for yourself. If you like, explore walking your hands towards the direction of the right side. Noticing if the sensation changes at all. Coming back to center, slowly start to walk your hands towards the direction of the left side. Again, noticing if the sensation changes. Does it travel up the leg a little bit more? And slowly come back through the center, uncross those legs. Again, you can stay with your feet hip width apart or cross your right leg over your left leg. Deep bend in your right knee. Left leg is working towards the direction of length. Stay there or slowly start to walk your hands towards the direction of the left side. Noticing the sensation. Come back through to center. Stay at center or walk your hands towards the direction of the right side. Noticing what we feel. And then easing your way back to center. Uncross those legs. Let the body hang down. Root your palms down, step your feet back, lower your knees down, breathe your hips back into a brief child's pose. We're here just for a moment. We're going to find our way down to our backs in a moment. So if child's pose is not a good resting pose for you, find your way down to your back and rest there. We'll meet you there. Let your hips release nice and heavy, shoulders relax. Anchor into the awareness of your breath and your body breathing. Good, and then we'll slowly walk our hands back to our hips and we'll sweep our legs forward in front of us and we'll bring ourselves down to our back. Take a moment to hug your knees into your chest there again. Give your knees a good little squeeze. Maybe take a few little rocks, massage out that low back. Good, and then we'll find our feet down for a bridge pose. So finding the alignment there that works best for you. The feet can be further forward, the feet can be wider, or I tend to like my feet underneath or in line with my hips, a little bit closer to the body. So you can find that for yourself. Pressing your feet down, press your palms beside your hips, tilt your hip points towards your ribs, and slowly begin to roll through your spine, allowing the hips to lift up. Stop where you'd like to stop. You want to have space between the chin and the chest, little space in the back of the neck, lots of engagement through the back half of the body to support lifting. So it's not necessarily about the action of lifting the hips up or the front hips up. Sometimes we can think of lifting the front hips up in this pose, really forcing the hip flexors up. See here if we can more think about lifting from the active engagement of the glutes. As the glutes start to engage and the hamstrings start to turn on, that's what will lift the hip. Settle the shoulders, breathe here. And we'll lower back down. Now we're going to take one more bridge pose. If you'd like to take a supported bridge with me, you can take a supported bridge either using a soft block or a couple pillows or towels, or you can take the same bridge we just took. So if you're taking a supported bridge, you can place something underneath your hips here to let the hips rest, or you can press your palms down and lift your hips up. You can keep your palms beside you or hold on to the sides of your yoga mat, or if you are in that unsupported bridge, you can interlace your fingers behind your back. You can reach your arms up overhead or arms up towards the ceiling, wherever you'd like to be. Often when I'm in supported bridge, I like to cactus my arms, so arms bent, elbows bent, palms up towards the ceiling, and just allow the chest to really open up here. Nice deep breath. Good, and then we'll nice and slowly remove the prop. If you have it, roll through your spine and release the hips back down. From there, hug your knees into your chest, give your knees a good little squeeze, massage out your low back. And we'll take our left foot down. We'll find our right ankle on our left thigh and we'll rotate our right hip open. And you can stay with this or hold on to the back of your left thigh and gently bring the leg in towards the body for thread the needle. Now you can stay with that today, or if you'd like, cross your right knee on top of your left knee and hold on to your shins or your ankles like handlebars and slowly pull the legs in towards the body, feeling the outer hip really opening up here. Now we don't want to be straining ourselves to get into this pose, so if we notice we're really lifting and straining, stick with the ankle on top of the thigh. You'll get the same sensations, the same benefits, but without the tension. Breathe. And then we'll slowly release, unravel. If you raveled there, just find a few little movements there for your hips. Maybe roll through the knees a little. Often like to take almost like figure eights there with the knees. Just gentle mobility there for your hip. And then when you're ready, take the other side. So root your right foot down, left ankle on your right thigh. Stay here with your right foot down and actively rotate your left hip open. Or hold on to the back of that right thigh or shin and bring the leg in towards the body. Stay with that, or slide your left knee on top of your right knee so the knees are crossed. Hold on to your shins or your ankles like handlebars and slowly start to actively pull the legs into the body. So you feel, for me, it's a really deep stretch in my left outer hip. For others, it may be a little bit somewhere else. See if you can let the shoulders relax. soften the muscles of your face. Breathe. Good. And then nice and slowly start to let that go. Hug your knees into your chest. Give those knees a good little squeeze. And this time, right hand on right knee, left hand on left knee. Allow the knees to drop open to the side. And you can keep the knees bent here, or if you'd like, start to extend the legs. And you can hold on to the fronts of your thighs or the backs of your thighs, wherever it feels most comfortable for you to hold on. Just releasing the weight of the body, the spine settle. And then we'll bend our knees again. We'll bring our legs back to center. Hold on to the backs of your thighs and extend the legs up towards the ceiling without the expectation that they have to straighten. And we'll just point and flex through the feet here a few times. Pointing and flexing. Feel free to draw circles with your feet and your ankles there as well if you like that movement. Just feeling the fronts of the feet, the ankles. And then we'll bend our knees again, hug your knees into your chest. Release the feet, take the arms into a nice wide T position beside you. Drop your knees over to the left as your hips shift to the right. Finding your right shoulder nice and heavy, maybe turn your head to the right. Feel free to keep those knees stacked one on top of the other, across the top knee over the bottom knee. But feel free to support yourself by patting the body up with pillows or blanket. Really present with the breath here. Come on back up to center and shift to the other side. So the knees drop to the right, hips shift to the left. Stacking one knee on top of the other or crossing the top knee over the bottom. Again, really exploring that idea of surrender, of release here. Allowing yourself to scan through the body, noticing where are we holding, where are we gripping. We just offer it our attention without having to do anything. And noticing if just focusing our attention allows us to soften a little bit more. Beautiful. We'll come back to center and prepare for our final posture, Shavasana. So if there are any socks or sweaters you'd like to put on, go right ahead. Any sips of water or final movements you'd like to take, feel free. And then find yourself in the most comfortable position for your body to rest in today. Perhaps a corpse pose, legs extended, arms extended, eyes closed. Or Supta Baddha Konasana, taking the soles of the feet together, knees open to the side. Or take the soles of the feet to the outside of your yoga mat, let your knees fall in at center. Or feel free to lie on your side or your belly. Or with your legs up the wall or your
Sit in your nice comfy chair. Scanning through the body, offering yourself an opportunity to perhaps release a little bit more. Relaxing your toes and your feet, your legs and your hips, your belly and your chest, your shoulders and your arms, your hands and your fingers. Releasing some tension in your neck, your jaw, the space between your eyebrows, your forehead, and rest. And slowly begin to bring a greater awareness to your body and the space around you. Perhaps invite your breath to deepen, or invite a little bit of movement back to your body, maybe wiggling the fingers, the toes, or taking a great big stretch, arms up overhead. And from there, in the easiest way possible, gently bring yourself up to a nice, comfortable, seated position. And we will end our practice together today. We'll find our palms connected here at heart center, and we'll bow our heads. Breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Breathing in through the whole body, in through the nose, and releasing through the mouth. And thank yourself for taking the time to practice today. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. Stay well. Thanks so much, everybody. It was great to be with you again today. And I'll let you know our code for the Ambassador program. No worries.